The squat rack is the hardest and scariest piece of equipment at the gym. It's even scarier than me in the morning, and I mean, I'm pretty scary. Also when I'm hungry, you don't want to cross me when I'm hungry. We're going to be starting from the bottoms up, okay? First of all, we approach the machine. The first thing you will just be asking, what is this miscellaneous thing? Look, if you lift it, it moves. Crazy, right? This is because the squat rack can actually be used for different purposes. For example, you can use it for squats indeed, like the word says, barbell squats, but you can also use it for pull-ups, okay? And we'll get there in a second. But these little things that you see here, okay? These can be actually great to do other squat variations, like for example, an extra range of motion sumo squat variation. So how do we use them? What you have to do, there will be a lever just at the bottom. There is this little piece and this little piece. So you will lift this up, okay, upwards, and then basically this moves. Okay, so you will move this, lift it, and then drop it. Nice and solid. You can test it first, and obviously you can do the same with the other side. So there you go, very quick demonstration. What you can do is actually obviously climb on top of them, elevate yourself, and you, for example, can hold a dumbbell and do extra range of motion sumo squats, which are also very, very good and good for beginners if you're not ready to use barbell squats just yet. Obviously, another thing, like I told you before, the reason why you will elevate yourself is so that you can do pull-ups. In fact, just at the top of the machine, you will find two little handles where you can actually grip. But anyway, let's do one thing at a time. I said I will be moving from the bottom up. What's the next piece that sticks out? This one, okay? And you'll be asking, what the hell is this? This is actually one of the most important pieces of the machine, and I want you to write notes, okay? If you have to write what's the most important part of the machine, is this one. Why? Because it saves lives, that's why. Okay, let's put you in a scenario. You come in and you say, well, I'm squatting today, but I'm actually scared. What if I drop on the floor? What if a bar falls on me? This is what this does. It saves you, like Superman, okay? It's the Superman of the machine. It will catch the bar for you if you struggle, but I'll tell you how. At the moment, I just arrived, and you can, depending on how members leave the gym, you might have to move it, right? For example, this is crazy. This is a little bit too high for me, okay? So you might want to readjust it, okay? Depends as well on your experience. If you're a beginner, I would say, leaving it a little bit higher up is easy, because anyway, with your squats, you won't really go very deep. So I'll actually leave it here for beginners, because let's first help the beginners, because I know that you need it the most. If you want to improve over time with your range of motion, what you have to do is have it lower. But how the hell do we move this? Let's say actually this is on the low bit and you want to put it higher, right? How do we move it? Every single squat machine will have this long extension, and then look, there is a little lever over there, okay, that we'll be using. What I want you to be doing is have one hand below this to support, okay? And one hand holding this little lever. Prepare yourself, because this is a little bit, not heavy, but obviously it's got some weight in it, okay? So what I want you to do is to lift it up and pull it towards you. So we lift it up and pull it, and we release it, okay? This is not heavy, but I'll say it's got weight. Now, let's say we want to put it lower. What we have to do is the opposite movement. So push it in, you find the hole there, it's a little bit annoying. You push it in and you slide it down, like so. Let me just give you a close-up. Because you see, if you look at the hooks, this is where it should be inserted in, and then it goes down. The same thing, if you want to remove it, you'll have to lift it up and go up this way. It's just nice and simple. Okay, we're moving up again. I feel like I'm just very zoomed in I am right now. But anyway, this is like a small version of what we just did. Those are the safety bars. These are called J-hooks. These are the places, okay, do you see that they're sticking out like this? Because this is where you position the barbell on top of them, okay? They'll catch the bar with all the weight. The very important piece of equipment as well, and not as important as the safety, because the safety always comes first, but you might need to readjust these according to your height, because if these are positioned to height, obviously the barbell will be here, and I can't even reach, okay? You have to be able to rest the barbell here, okay, on top of your traps over here. So it's really important that you readjust this to your height. So how do we position this? It's the same thing, the same principle as before, because it's the same hooks here. You'll grab one extremity and the other, you just lift it up and pull it towards you. And this is obviously less heavy, and you put it down the same way. So you slide it in and push it down. The next step is obviously to start positioning our barbell. okay? So the first thing that you always want to check, because this is an easy mistake that I always used to make as well, especially as a beginner, is to make sure that these are the same level and the same number, okay? Remember, there is numbers on the side of each, so check their position on the same numbers, otherwise your barbell will be off, okay? Now, depends, sometimes you'll have to grab the barbell from the floor, and bear in mind that these are Olympic barbells, so they weigh around 20 kilos. So if you struggle to lift this up, some gyms have smaller barbells, so you can get like slightly shorter ones that are like 15 kilos, or you can ask someone at the gym to just put it up for you. There is no shame in that. Asking for help is always okay, but ultimately you should be able to lift 20 kilos. Come on, I believe in you. You can do 20 kilos, let's face it. It's a bit of a weird movement because you just do this, basically. You just pick it up and lift it. So first you pick it up and then lift this way, okay? But again, if you struggle, you can always ask someone to do it for you. But again, 20 kilos, you can lift 20 kilos, okay? I believe in you. So once we position the barbell on top of it, we'll check if it's the right height for us. Okay, now the fun part, trying to test if it's at the right height. So the barbell should be about your chest level. And why? Because when we grab and we start actually going heavier, first of all, we don't want to make sure that we have to go too down to pick up the barbell, because you're already starting with a squat, and especially when you start building more weight, you don't want to bend down too much. And most importantly, you don't want it to be too high. How do we tell if it's too high? If you go on your tiptoes, okay, to pick the bar up, okay, or lift your feet in any way, then it's not good. I don't want you to get used to this, because if you start going heavier and you're struggling, for example, and you have to go on your tiptoes and you miss here, we don't want to do that, okay? I'm here to just teach you in the safe way, practice safe exercising. As you can see, this is perfect for me. It's almost about pretty much my chest level. Also, I try and pick it up as well. And I don't struggle. I don't go too low, but neither I go on my tiptoes. And I just pick it up, which leads on to the next session. Where do we position the bar on our neck? Just nice and simple, okay? Because this is for another video, the whole squat form, how to do, etc., is for another time. But mostly what I want you to focus on is to rotate your thighs slightly outwards like that, so that your knees will never cave in. Of course, caving in is just something that happens later on when you start going heavier. It's inevitable, but at the moment, just focus on these cues for beginners, okay? Try to keep your knees out by rotating your thighs slightly outwards like this. And then I want you to obviously keep your head and spine nice and neutral. It means like nice and straight, and then descend down, okay? With the range of motion, okay? At first, you will feel like, especially if you never squatted before, you'll feel like you're kind of just losing balance, which is perfectly normal at first if you're not used to squatting. So you can either start with box squats that can help you, okay? That teach you how to squat into the right movement. Just do it, basically, in the squat rep. So again, nice and easy. Knees out, remember, and you just like almost just sitting down, okay? And then push up. Now, another common mistake is people tend to squeeze because they think that they have to squeeze at the top. It actually affects your back over here. So avoid the squeezing. There's no need to squeeze, and there's no point in squeezing in the squat. The major point of a squat is actually at the bottom rather than at the top, okay? But yeah, this is basically in a nutshell how it works. Now, obviously, if you wanted to work and start adding more weight, you can easily work them in, and gyms have different clips. The most common one is this one, okay? So you have to do is trying to squeeze this together. It's really annoying at first, and it's hard. Sometimes I even struggle to like squeeze and slide it in. But anyway, Familia, squatting is something that will come with time. You have to practice with it. If you're scared of the squat rack, I hope this helps you. And as well, if you want to start practicing, if something happens, okay, let's say you feel like falling, okay, which is normal at first. But look, we have our safety bars that if something happens, they will always catch the bar for you. See, for example, I dropped the bar there and they caught it, so it's nice and easy. If you even want extra security as well, you can bring a bench over here, okay? I don't have any available in my gym, but if you just bring it here and you just like sit on the bench, so you will never fear a squat, because obviously you have the bench there, you have this, you have that. How much more do you need? Everything is basically there to support you. Focus on the form, okay? With slowly but slowly, you can build it up and you build the weight after. Now, if you want me to do part 2, which is the more advanced one, which teaches you exactly how to prepare your body for the squats correctly, how to prepare your joints if you have joint pain, how to brace, which is really, really important for squatting, and how to squat in general, basically everything you need to know. Let me know in the comments below. But I hope this this video helped you. And listen, it's normal to be scared of new things that we've never done before. It's like when you first start driving. I was super, and I'm still super nervous, but you can do it, okay? If you have the right instructions, the right trainer like me, that I'm helping you, and the right guidance, you'll be able to do it. You just have to practice. If you want me to create a plan for you, personalized to you, and help you and guide you along the journey, I can do that. Don't forget, link in the description box below. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you next time with another video, familia.